we might as well get started. All right, so we have the minutes from February. Has everybody taken a look at those?
Yep.
Yes. Minutes. Anybody have any comments or edits on these?
That's good. I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
Mark these as final to get posted. Let's see, who took these last month? You did. Okay, so did you send those to who?
Nikki already has some, not
Okay.
Nikki, Veronica.
Veronica.
I sent
Yeah,
her
so we
a
just,
copy of it.
we just need to let her know that they've been finalized,
Okay.
so she can get the final up.
You got it.
Phil's not on the call, so, the only thing I know, the discrimination and harassment training, anybody who hasn't taken that, he's provided the link. I guess I need to do that too. Any other updates from me? I don't have anything really new business. Any updates from anybody here? Okay,
I have stuff that's on the agenda, but
we'll move into that. So Pam O'Malley has resigned from the ECC. She just didn't feel like she had enough time, and she thanked everybody for the opportunity and was very cordial, but she didn't think that she was going to be able to make many meetings, and she certainly didn't feel like she had a lot of additional time to really get into projects in any meaningful way. So she stepped down. Phil recalled that when he approached the town to be on the ECC, they had him fill out a form. I didn't fill out a form. I don't know if any of you guys did.
I did not.
But he
I
tried
did.
to get it. You did?
I think I did.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
He went back to the town and he asked if they had a copy of that form, and they didn't. So he put something together, pretty basic. I guess what he added in was a little bit of a definition of what ECC members would do down at the bottom. And what he'd like to do is anybody who's interested in potentially seeking a seat on the ECC to complete one of these forms and to submit it to him. And I guess it would have to go to the supervisor as well, because they make the appointments. But just to get a feel for who's applying and what their background is a little bit, and so they're aware of what the projects are that we might be working on. I don't think he sent this out to everybody, so I printed out copies. If anybody has any thoughts on this.
I looked at it in my email. That looks like it's a good, basic, thorough thing.
Yep. Actually, it felt kind of familiar.
Yeah, he tried to recall what was on that original form.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like it's that involved, so it's probably pretty close to what he had completed, and probably you too, Paulie.
Yep.
We had some thoughts, and he thought maybe it could be put on the town's webpage, the Facebook page, not the webpage, which could generate some interest, or it could make things more complicated, but so I don't know. Does anybody have any thoughts about how to?
I think that sounds good. I think it sounds good to put it on the Facebook page. Get it more engaged, sending out whatever residents are active on Facebook and tune into the Pompey page. That's more, more outreach to residents. And it also makes the process more transparent, which I think helps encourage people to participate.
Who is responsible for the vetting process? Say 5 people apply.
Yeah, I think it comes down to the town board. They make the appointments.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Phil would like to have a say, obviously, because he said, we're the people who are working with this person.
right.
But, ultimately it comes down to the town board.
Neighbor expressed an interest a while ago, Nancy Furdock.
Oh. Yeah, so, feel free to give her this and have her send it back.
All right.
I don't know that there's any formal process in play right now, but yeah, anybody, and that goes for everybody. If you know of anybody who might be interested, at least for the time being, you have one copy of this form, and we'll figure out how we're going to, what we're gonna do with it, but it sounds like in general, nobody objects to putting it out publicly to solicit participants. So we'll get that information over to Phil and see what he wants to do with it. Yes, anything else on that vacancy? Anybody else have any thoughts about potential folks that might be interested?
Just a logistical standpoint, does the vacancy prevent us from being able to vote?
Well, it's we have a quorum,
Okay,
which, but we're not a legislative body, so even that, we're just more of an advisory input.
okay.
But as you see here, if you also other tasks, if they do need help on a committee, somebody with a pulse is good.
Hey,
Hey,
Yeah, I think previously, I mean, before I joined, John, and you too, probably. I think the ECC was down at least 2 members for some period of time,
Right, that's right.
so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Roll on.
All right, so continuing business, as far as the master plan, I had sent the memo, the summary to the town, and we haven't heard anything back, so there's nothing going on with that at this point. The suitability, the sites, for the tier 3, I know, Adam, that was all turned over to ECC, right? And we're waiting, that's gonna be spring sort of semester deal.
Yeah, I emailed the professor on Tuesday, I think it was, just to see where any progress or update was, knowing that we had a meeting tonight, and I haven't heard back yet, so tried to get an update, didn't receive one yet. If anything substantial comes through on an email, I'll fire off a group message for that update.
Sounds good. Stan, anything new with the cell towers?
I know some of the assessments have been changed, but to what extent, I don't. Fitz is in his office on Mondays and his wife's in there on Tuesdays, and I know last few Mondays it just hadn't been good for me. And other stuff going on, so I just need to do a little bit of research and talk with them. Some of them have been upped, some of them haven't. And then I think in talking with the planning board, the big thing with that is a lot of these cell towers are supposed to have a lot of, different paperwork, different things on file with the town. And I don't know if that's been done. And so short of making sure that all that is taken care of, I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's good. Moving into the project updates, I know I haven't done anything even remotely related to the webpage. I don't know, Adam. No, other than, we'll talk a little bit about the community engagement here, I guess, because that is webpage related. We had been talking about ways to sort of stir up community interest and do some outreach and get folks involved. And at the last meeting, Phil had suggested that maybe we do some sort of a small outreach piece every month on the Facebook page, the web page. Maybe with a poll, just some very simple questions, just to, raise some awareness. And he put together a small poll, which he sent to, yes, a lot of folks, but basically, the supervisor, he was good with it. I don't know if anybody's seen this. I'll pass it around. This is what he put together, and this will be posted on, I guess it's the Facebook page. Veronica's gonna post it, I think, this week. But this is it. It's pretty simple.
Can you read it?
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. You're not here.
I'm not there.
Would you like to read it?
I'll give it a whirl.
All right.
Draft post for the Town of Pompey Facebook page. I assume Veronica can make this poll with results displayed in parentheses. The Town of Pompey's Environmental Conservation Commission, ECC, is responsible to evaluate applications that come to the planning board for potential environmental impacts to the town. Do you know what other activities the ECC performs for the Pompey community? Number one, sponsors the annual Earth Day event, including the free tree seedlings giveaway with a question mark. Two, sponsors a seasonal contest such as a snowman, pollinator, and pumpkin carving contest. Three, evaluate potential federal, state agency environmental grants funding that may be applicable to the town of Pompey. Number four, reviews and provides recommendations on various town of Pompey documents such as the town master plan and proposed local laws and codes. Five, all of the above.
Oh, I know. Call on me. Call on me.
Signed, Phil George, ECC Chair, Town of Pompey, phone number.
You don't have to go through all
Okay,
that.
good. Got it.
So, it's simple. We had talked, I guess, initially about doing something quarterly, and I would say, well, this is so simple and basic that monthly would probably be better. And everyone seemed by email to be in favor of that. So the next step is to ask people to volunteer to put together some small little blurb. Doesn't necessarily have to be in a poll format. It could just be a little educational, did you know, blah, blah, blah.
Fun facts.
Yeah,
Right.
fun fact, something like
Fun
that.
fact. Yeah.
But monthly. And so this is March. This would pretty much take us up. We've got enough people to take us pretty close to the end of the year. So what I'd like to do tonight is to ask people to volunteer for a month to, pick a month. Which month would you like to do your little blurb? You don't necessarily have to have a topic tonight, but just get some names in so we know who to chase after. And get these little community outreach pieces in place on a monthly basis.
To populate the list, I'll say faster or in a shorter amount of time. Do we all want to come up with one by next meeting? And then just put it into a schedule?
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. So we'll have a topic and we could do that. That's fine.
Okay.
And for the next April, I'll come up with something and I'll have it ready for April. So
Okay.
I'll put me here. And
Hey,
then we can
Kathy?
finish the rest. Yeah,
Can you put me there instead and I'll do something about Earth Day?
sure.
for
And then
April?
everyone else, if we could give this some thought and then we'll finish filling out this list, but we'll have the Earth Day thing up there
April.
at the end of March. So it'll be good. That'll be good in timeline.
I can grab May and do something on gardening. It's very early on.
Oh, I'm writing May.
JOHN. It's late in the day. I get it.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you. And we'll fill the rest out if nobody has a desire to slap their name on there tonight. But it seems like a good idea.
I like
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Easy
Easy.
is good.
Yeah.
So when we send out the information for next month, I'll send a reminder, or Phil will send a reminder to think about this a little. Okay. So I guess that brings us then, we'll go into Earth Day. And Martha, I guess I'll turn that over to you. Before I do that, though, I ran into Teresa today.
Yeah.
And she said that they have finalized the shredder, the electronics collection, and what else do they do? Shredding and the metals. But they still haven't heard, they
Did you
haven't
say
gotten any
Did you say the medicine, did you say?
metals, the metal collection.
Oh, metals, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they still haven't heard back from a food vendor.
Right,
I guess the signs are bought and they're all good. They've got small signs for each of the hamlets that they're gonna post in each of the hamlets. And I guess Teresa mentioned that Martha, you're working on the large flag for out on the street?
Yep.
So
Yep.
that was the update that I got from Teresa today. That was it.
Okay, thanks.
All yours.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear about those things. The other aspect of the highway department is that BR is going to take control of traffic and parking a little bit more than last time. So there'll be orange cones out there, and I think he's going to have a staffer out there helping keep the traffic moving along and keep the pedestrians safe.
Good idea.
Yeah, really good idea. Yeah, I'll just run through where we're at with it. We're very much on track, and it's going to be a bigger event than last year. Just to run through the tables that we've got climate change action and awareness. They came last year, they'll be here again. They talk about all kinds of things that people can do on an individual basis, especially to be aware of climate change and to shrink your own carbon footprint, live a greener life.
Is this the Citizens Climate Lobby? Is that?
Nope,
that's a
nope,
different group? Okay.
it's a different group. It's called Climate Change Action and Awareness,
Okay.
CCAA. We also will have Citizens Climate Lobby, another volunteer nonprofit that I'm active with. And the focus of that group is on policy and legislation. So what kinds of things governments can do and the kinds of things that citizens can do to encourage governments to act faster on transitioning away from fossil fuels. So those are policies, legislation, and so on. And we have opportunities for the residents to write letters, text, and another way contact their state assembly person, their state senator, their congressional representatives as well. We're going to also have Habitat Gardening of CNY. We had them last year. They were a popular booth talking about native plants and pollinating plants, pollinator-friendly plants and invasives and those sorts of things, green gardening.
Martha, were they called the Wild Ones? I'm sorry
Yeah.
to compare them. I'm just making sure we have the right logos on the poster.
I appreciate it, Adam. Yes, they are. I think they're local crowd. They call themselves the Wild Ones, but they also call themselves HGCNY, Habitat Gardeners of CNY. Habitat Gardening of CNY. We are also going to have Clean Communities of CNY. That's a small, very small local agency that gets a lot of support from the US Department of Energy. And they focus on green transportation issues, green fuel, green transportation, alternative fuels, new technologies. So there'll be one person there from that group with educational materials, and he will also round up some electric vehicles that will be out in the parking lot so that people can talk to the owners of these cars and get a feel for what it's like to own an EV or a hybrid. They're new this year. We haven't had them before. We're also going to have Onondaga Audubon to talk about bird habitat and ecology. They'll have one or two people there. That's new this year. We are going to have Cornell Cooperative Extension. Not sure. They're going to probably talk about forestry issues and ticks. It sort of depends on who staffs the table that day. Whoever shows up, they talk about their area of expertise. But the woman I talked to said it was most likely going to be forestry issues and or ticks. So either of those, both of those would be relevant for our residents. We're also going to have the Stormwater Coalition, which we had last year. And that's from the CNY Regional Planning and Development Board. Talking about stormwater management and watershed issues. We're going to also have Heat Smart, talk about heat pumps and solar panels and the kinds of, how you go about advising residents and how you go about trying to get those into your home. They're no longer called Heat Smart. They've changed their name to Energy Smart CNY. They're always a big hit. There's always residents interested in making those changes in their homes. We're also going to have a DEC officer who's married to Adam.
Yeah, update on that. That day, she has to also staff a youth turkey or pheasant hunt day or event. So she doesn't know what time it is yet. So hopefully they both can work out. And if she can be available, she'll be here. But she doesn't know what time that other event is going to be either. Yeah.
Okay. Depends on the turkey.
Yeah.
And John was reaching out to the Fabius Pompey science teacher. And John, how about if you put your piece in there?
Gotcha. Yeah, I talked to, emailed Peter Wilder, finally got back to me. His students are interested in doing it. We are, it's a yes. Him and I are going to contact each other next week, come up with what he thinks they want to do, what we want, like some ideas. But he's pretty flexible with that, so that shouldn't be a problem. So that should be good. So a table, some activity or some awareness piece. I think it'd be good to get some of the teenagers from the high school or middle school here. That'd be excellent. So, and I contacted Troop 115, but they have not got back to me yet. So hopefully maybe they can do something, a recruiting piece or an awareness piece. We'll see. So
Good. Sounds good. Thanks, John. Of course, we're also going to have the raffle, which is got 2 prizes, a birdhouse, a bluebird house, and 2 passes to the golf club, the golf course.
How about 4?
We
4
can throw,
passes.
we can throw, Springside can throw in a pass to whatever.
Okay,
I'll
great.
come up with something for that.
All
So,
right, great.
5. I thought it was 4.
4, so yeah. 4.
Okay.
Are we still handing out the free raffle tickets in exchange for that short questionnaire of what they would like to see?
Yeah.
Last meeting, we
Yeah.
had the
You
idea of
mentioned, yeah.
for them to enter their free tickets. They felt like a quick index card that's like, what do you want to see from the ECC?
Hmm.
And that was their entrance into the raffle.
What do you think, Martha?
I would like to pair those together, but not necessarily say you have to do the card in order to get their tickets. We're not charging for the tickets, which I've thought we'd charge for the tickets, but most people didn't want to charge for the tickets. So if we're trying to make the tickets as easy to get as possible, people will sometimes surprisingly will be discouraged from standing there and filling out a card for 30 seconds. They might just say, nah, I don't want to. So if we could just do the both things, get your tickets here and also please fill out a card.
I'll have cards printed in a digital version as well, so they can just type something on the phone too.
Great, thanks, Adam.
Really good.
all of this sounds wonderful, Martha, but have you, because there's a lot of wonderful things coming. Do we have the physical space for all of these places, people?
We are going to be more crowded this year than we were last time. So I think we're going to be spilling out into the hallway, which means we're going to have to sort of rethink where we put you and your trees.
We
'Cause
were
you're the-
outside last time.
No, we came in last time because it was too windy out there. So we were actually, you were in the lobby and all the tables.
Was I? I don't even remember that.
I'm gonna add to it. The last meeting I talked about radon gas. I did reach out to the people that I knew, and they were no longer in business. So I reached out to the Woodford brothers, and they do a lot with that. I talked to Mike, who I know, and I guess Tom and his son have taken over the business. Tom Jr. put me in touch with somebody, and they said yes, they would be willing to have a table. So Woodford Brothers is going to have at least a representative here to talk about radon gas.
Great. Thank you, Stan. That's a great addition.
Poster.
Smaller.
Really small.
So how you gonna fit it in there, Ed? I got faith in you. I know you can do it.
We'll figure it out.
Stan, can you text or email me your contact information for the Woodford Brothers?
Yeah, I got it. The gentleman that I talked to, his name is I left it at the golf course. Sorry, it's on my notepad there. Got too many notepads. But I'll give you his name and number. And
Great.
in actuality, that'd be great because I kind of gave him the lay of the land and what we do. You might be able to give him a little bit more detailed information than I could.
Yeah, I just want to make sure he's in the loop when I start talking to all the tablers.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
I know that Stan, you have offered to provide tables in the past,
Yep.
and you have the long tables, the 6 or 8 foot tables.
Yeah,
You don't have-
I think we've got at least a half a dozen 6-footers that I could bring up. I brought those up last year, and I probably have some more, so.
You don't happen to have like 4 foot, like card table size?
I don't,
Yeah,
we have
Be nice.
6-footers.
yeah. Because we're probably gonna have to squeeze some groups onto get some groups to share tabling space.
But
Which-
then we just kind of ran them around the room, and so we might have to just say, okay, kind of, let's just, one big happy family here, and you take this
Yeah.
part of the table, you take this part, you take this part.
We might be
Yeah.
able to cover the panel with, I can bring some like nicer wood for shelving or something to even this off. And vendors can be behind there. This could be their table. And then I'll just use all that space too.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. We can that's a great idea. Thanks, Adam.
Yep.
Because we are gonna have more people this year, more tables.
And I also can bring up tables once we get closer if we need. I have 4.
Yeah, that's gonna be on our April list, is getting the tables all set. Yeah, the signs, I hope the signs are being ordered by the end of this week. We went back and forth with the Sign Solutions, which is a Pompey-based business on Route 91. Nancy Abbott owns that. And Adam submitted a draft, which was helpful. And she submitted her draft, and we sort of smushed the two together. And I'm gonna see if I can get it.
Not that there's anything on it, but
Well, I don't know. Let's see if I can show this to you guys.
oh, nice. So that'll be the final. Good.
Is that coming through?
Yeah, we can see it.
I'm holding in my hand. No?
It's
Yeah.
that-
A
no,
little bit different. but-
yeah, that was
Okay.
another first draft.
Yeah.
I like that, that's good.
So it's eye-catching, it's pretty. And we left this Saturday, April 20th, sort of isolated, a little bit isolated and in black. That's what will change each year. She's gonna sell us just some stickers that we can put over that one
Yep.
part so that we can change the date year by year.
Good.
And hopefully we're still gonna come in on budget with that, so that we'll also have money left over to buy a feather style flag for Route 20 at the driveway. But we'll have to see what if the money is still there for that.
Martha, I was gonna send you an email, but it's easier just to ask you here. On that first message you sent about the feather flag, you said you just wanted to say Pompey on it? Just so
Yeah.
I. Okay,
Yep, yeah, just Pompey vertically and then down at the bottom, the town seal.
gotcha. Because of the shape of them, I was thinking we might put the seal up at the top where it's kind of a half circle to begin with. Just
Yeah,
so it would fit a little bit better up at the top.
well, the style I'm looking at, the flag style I'm looking at is not a feather, it's a blade.
Okay,
So it's a little bit stiffer and it has a squared off bottom, so there's just as much room on the bottom as there is
Gotcha.
on the top.
is that through Nancy at Sign Solutions as well?
No, they don't do that, so I gotta buy that online, I guess.
Okay, for providers like online, they usually have a template for people to upload whatever design they want on their sign. So if
Yeah.
you just send me the link or the name of the company, so I make sure I'm using the right shape template.
Great, great. Yeah, thanks so much. I will. Great. And as long as we're talking about your artistic abilities, I can see you're also working on the flyer too, huh?
Yeah, so I printed off last year's flyer, which it's in black and white for people who are here, a couple copies. Um,
I have a copy.
and just making sure that what we want to change or keep the same. So I checked off all the vendors that you listed that were returning. I made notes of the people who were new. Some of the ones we didn't specifically mention, but for the shredding are both Sun King and Pro Shred both returning as the shredders, or is that something for Teresa to confirm?
That would be something for Teresa to confirm.
So I will email her and ask. As far as the format of it, I was gonna keep it pretty much the same. The first section saying what to bring, so the shredding stuff, the battery disposal, tire recycling, scrap metal, and then trash bags that groups might have filled up from Earth Day cleanups, they can drop here to go in the town dumpster.
Yeah,
And then the next section of what to take home, we're still doing the 5 evergreen seedlings. I have pollinator seed packets to bring. The form letters from the Citizens Climate Lobby, people can take those home to fill out. I'll get rid of the food by Birdsong Cafe until we get a different vendor.
yeah.
And then adding the bullet of the raffle, free raffle, listing the Bluebird House and the passes to the Pompey Club. Anything else that would be highlightable take home?
Polly's passes. Polly,
Springside Farm. Fall,
Spring-
we can put in family day pass for 4 to,
Ringside. And then what to learn. This section probably will change the most just because of
Yeah.
what vendors are coming.
Yeah.
It might be too big of a section
yeah,
to have on the poster, which
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, Martha, if I send you a bulleted list of all the vendors, or actually you have that already, obviously. If you could write like one line of what
Yeah.
each one focuses on, that can go on the town website. So when it says more details at townofpompey.org, it'll be that list of all the vendors and what someone could expect to learn from them.
will do. So on the flyer, you'll just pick a couple highlights and say, and much, much more,
Right.
something like that.
Yep.
Great. Great. And then we'll talk about circulating it. We've circulated it amongst ourselves. Each of us have tried to circulate it to our, whatever our circles are, our neighborhood email list, our whatever Facebook groups we belong to. our former supervisor, Renee, used to post it on a bunch of Facebook pages that neighborhoods in the town have, like the Preserve and Pompey Pines and the Delphi Falls Community Group on Facebook. I wonder if how to do that now that Renee's not volunteering to do that.
We could ask her for her list,
Ask Renee for,
the list of places, and then somebody could get it done.
we'll post it on the
It's hard to do when you don't know what their site is.
Right.
But if Renee knew who they were and just told one of us, if I had time, I'd do it.
Mhm.
And I probably will if until I leave here, so.
Mhm. Okay, let me see if I can round that up from Renee, and maybe she'll just volunteer to do it anyway.
That wasn't what I meant.
But
Well, I
Yeah, but
hope, but it wasn't what I meant.
Happen.
also
But it
works.
happened. Yeah, and then there's churches to churches to post it at, and bulletin boards at the Lions Club, Fire Department, Pompey Post Office, Fabius Post Office, Delphi Falls Post Office, Pompey Mall, of course, Pompey Golf Club, Heritage Hill, Dollar General.
Martha, did you say you thought we would be ahead on budget after the signs are purchased?
No,
Maybe money? No, okay.
no, we're gonna, after we purchase the signs, we're gonna use the rest of the money, hopefully, to buy that that blade style flag.
Gotcha.
Shark fin. They call it a shark fin flag.
Yeah, yeah. I got a notice into the FP school newsletter that'll run in March and April. So let's see, we want to shoot for having that. When do we want to shoot for having the flyer ready?
Monday.
Monday, woof. All right,
If Teresa responds with the shredding updates, I can change this around pretty quickly. It's just making sure that we have the right shredding companies posted.
and when is our next meeting?
April
Fourth.
4th? Okay, well, that's a good time to start posting it. You don't want to post it too early, people start ignoring it. That's a good time to post it. So we can circulate, at our next meeting, we can circulate paper copies. People can take paper copies and volunteer to post it around bulletin boards and so on. And we'll also have the files so that people can put it onto Facebook or email it to friends and things like that. Hopefully we'll get a lot of our ECC members to show up that day to help out with various tasks. There's always a lot of bustling around and things to help out with. And Polly, are you all set? Do you know if you're all set with the trees and anything that you need with the trees? Like,
Trees are all set. I put down the 25% deposit. They're confirming that they'll have them here on time. I sent out 17 letters and or emails soliciting everybody, every business that I could think of in Pompey, but I've got a few more on my list now. Adam, the email you have listed on your website bounces.
Good
So-
to know.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
but I figured you knew enough already, so, I'll get one.
When did you try to send it? Because I just changed things like 3 days ago.
2 weeks
We
ago.
could- Okay. Thank you.
Wasn't yesterday,
Gotcha.
but I had to end up Googling just about everybody because I'm in Florida. I have no contact information. So I went with what I could find. If I couldn't get an email address, I got a physical and sent them a hard copy in the mail. So I don't know if Phil has, and they're all supposed to send money to Phil.
Yeah,
Okay.
Phil's not received
don't know.
anything yet.
Oh, he probably hasn't. But seeing as I kept all those emails or physical addresses, I think I'll probably be nagging them again shortly.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Thank you, Polly, for taking that on.
I love
Yeah.
being a pain in the ass.
I'm so glad we found your niche.
Oh, yeah. I'm the one that causes trouble.
I love the honesty.
And the last thing is a food truck from last year can't do it. She's had some health issues and isn't booking dates right now. There's a food truck website that you can find online, syracusefoodtruck.org or something like that. Yeah.
It's the Food Truck Association.
Yeah.
Good
So
luck with that.
I filled out their web form asking for interest, and I got no response on that. So I think that a Saturday, as they start their season, a half day at a small event on a Saturday might not be too appealing for them to book. I'm hoping as we get closer to the date and some food truck doesn't have the date already booked, that they'll be willing to book a half day event. We'll be able to get somebody, but I don't have any other ideas. If anybody else has any other ideas for food trucks, I can call, let me know.
We're having, our June festival is having difficulty with food trucks too. It's not an easy job
Yeah.
to get somebody in. And
Yeah.
the ones that cancel, that happens enough too. It's very frustrating.
Huh.
Very
I was
frustrating.
to be honest, I was kind of surprised after last year's event that she was willing to come back because
It was good.
she was good and she was popular, but she didn't get a ton of volume, so that's a lot of work and cost for her to take her truck and set up and maybe not make a day's worth of income. So we'll see what we can come up with. For a half day event, it's nice to have something, but it's certainly not necessary. People are going to come whether there's a food truck here or not. That's all I got.
Heritage Hill has a food trailer, but they use that for catering, right? That's not like a food truck format.
Who's that?
Heritage Hill has a food trailer, but I'm not sure if that's used just for like delivering catering versus a
Yeah.
service food truck format.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'll look on their website.
Okay, great.
I'll just text
Before we move on.
you.
So Wally,
I'm all
about the
set.
trees, so you said the order is in, the deposit is made. When do the trees arrive, or do we have to pick
They
them up?
haven't
or-
told me that, but they know our deadline.
Okay, so we're
And,
looking,
Yeah, we're looking in plenty of time. And it turns out, and we don't usually order from Meadowview ourselves, but we're getting some white pine from them. So we're trying to lump that together, and it has to be seriously earlier than our date, but we can keep them cold until then. So we're looking to get splitting some of the delivery with you guys, because we're getting a few trees too. So the general way it is in the industry, if they know somebody else from the area is coming out, they'll throw our trees on their truck and we'll give them gas money. It's the bucket brigade system of Christmas tree delivery. But they know they're easy to communicate with. I was just talking to Tessa this week. So they know that we need them earlier than the 20th. Because we'd like them probably by the 7th, but whether that actually happens or not, we're looking for the 10th anyway. So that's plenty of time. The trees can be held. They're dormant anyway, so I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
As long as they're coming early, does it make any sense, maybe for us to break them up in advance of Earth
It makes
Day?
no sense at all.
No?
No, keep them cold and keep them asleep and keep them together.
Okay.
And they actually didn't take that long to split that day. We want to minimize the root exposure to air.
Yeah,
So-
last year, the trees were, they were, they were better, it was easier, they were cleaner. Splitting them
That's
up
what you-
was, it was like a different,
Different
process.
world, wasn't it?
yeah, it was.
Yes, and that's what you'll get again this year.
Okay.
They know what they're doing.
And do you need any other supplies, Polly, like
None.
water?
Well, plastic, we used to have plastic bags to put them in.
Yeah,
I might be looking into getting a like kind of like a sleeve that might be easier for us. I'll make a note of that.
okay.
Or table.
If you
you'll
get
line it
desperate,
back.
I've got plastic bags at the club, so.
Oh, and God knows I'm probably gonna be bringing some home from Florida because Florida is the worst state for plastic bag use that I've ever seen in my life.
We all used to be that way, Polly.
Well, I know, but we've been successfully broken. And it is just, I can't believe these people. It's surrounded by water and trash. Oh, it's just awful. I could never live here. I'm only here for the winter because Ed can't stand being cold. He's such a whiner.
That's it for me, folks.
That's it for me.
It sounds like everything is moving along pretty well. Take a look at the seasonal contests. So you're speaking cold, he wouldn't have been too cold up here this
I
winter.
heard it's been a mild winter.
It's been
All those
crazy.
damn trees had better stay asleep too.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
The maple
So-
syrup season was disgusting.
Yeah, it was terrible. Phil emailed me for the snowman poster, like the day that one blizzard came through last Thursday or whatever. I didn't turn it around fast enough and snow left.
24 hours, I know.
You've got nothing.
So it didn't get posted. We're supposed to get snow on Sunday.
You know, I don't know.
And I don't think it's gonna be,
It's just gonna be right.
and then even if it does snow, as far as like it being good snow to make a
Yeah.
snowman, I don't know if it's a good opportunity to just post a highlight of like, we would have had a snowman contest again this year, but when we're 60 inches behind normal snow levels for the year.
Ugh.
We might-
I think that's a great
We might
post.
get 4 or 5 inches, not find out, well, maybe.
Yeah.
It'll be wet, so there'll be,
Sunday, they're predicting 1.8 inches for Pompey. Oh, 3.9 inches on Monday. Okay.
So I will leave it up to the group if they feel it's worth getting it out there, or if we say,
yeah, it's tough going.
just chalk it up.
I don't
for
know.
this
I
winter.
think
What a
this winter
great
was, I
lesson
mean, if,
for climate change.
yeah, maybe it would be a better lesson for climate change than to try to get kids out there slopping around in the mud.
Okay. I'm
I
sorry.
don't
Their
have to
parents
do it.
will not appreciate.
Oh, snowman.
I will write a blurb to email to everybody and see if we put it on the Facebook page in place of the snowman contest.
Yeah.
Right. The whole winter, it's not like it's early or late, it's just
Even
not
no,
enough snow.
So do we want to consider maybe doing something spring-based in place of the snowman contest? And if so, what might that be?
Right. The one contest or activity that doesn't require certain weather or anything was, fattest tree in Pompey. And my wife, south of Albany, she grew up with their town doing that, and she talks about it repeatedly of like who won it each year and that kind of stuff. And there's a list of what locations won each year and kind of a thing. It would require someone to go out and check what the biggest tree is, just so that there's some verification. I will volunteer myself that if we want to
I
do
can
that
do that
contest,
too.
Exactly, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
whatever the biggest tree is that gets submitted, email that person, go and measure it ourselves, just so we can have some legitimacy to, who won or didn't win. So if we want to do like fattest tree in Pompey,
As
once-
long as you specify at what height.
Yeah, well, yeah, once it's, yeah, once it's defined. Every year, right.
We'll cut it down.
Wondering how, what happened?
If you win a certain year, like, we'll keep a list of who's won what year, and you can't submit the same tree.
2024 Fat Tree Award.
Yeah.
I think that's hysterical.
All right, what do the foresters call it? They don't talk about fat trees.
No.
They,
Diameter
got
and
a-
breast height.
DBH, yeah.
Right.
bingo, okay.
As long as you
Yeah, fat tree's not
specify where you measure.
I like fat trees.
I like fat tree. But you should tell them how far off the ground they have to be to measure it.
Yeah, what is it, 4
4
feet?
feet.
Yeah.
4 feet,
4
yeah.
feet. Okay. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'll be out looking for all the big trees.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Will be ours. Don't mind me. That's right.
Looking for fat trees.
Just looking for fat trees.
What will the disclaimer be? Not responsible for trespassing charges?
Yes.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Trespass on your own, yeah.
So what would the timing be? What are we looking at here?
Do we want to, what is it? Speaking of April. Poster, we can review it at our next meeting. Have it go for the month of May.
Good.
If we have the flyer ready at Earth Day.
Oh, yeah, we could post it out.
Post it.
I,
Put out there and
I
say-
would, I might suggest that you put out a little blurb when you cancel the snowman contest. Look
Okay.
forward to our upcoming replacement contest.
Yeah. Okay. Good idea.
That is not weather dependent.
To
be announced.
What's the tree?
To be
That
announced.
tree kind, yeah, it does stick, doesn't it? It does.
Oh, I think it's hysterical. Thank your wife for us.
Yes, I will.
It's a good idea.
All right, anything else that anybody has? Look it up. 2 pages.
There's more.
Yeah, there's nothing really. Our next meeting is gonna be on the 4th. Stan, at the February meeting, you had volunteered to do the minutes, so on this, I didn't update this little list of recording secretary, but we have Stan for April 4th. And John, you had volunteered for August 1st, but I didn't put those, fill those in, so.
If you don't remember, you did.
Actually, if John wouldn't mind, I'd take August 1st. That
That's
would
fine.
That would work for me better than September.
All right, so I guess, again, if anybody has any thoughts or ideas about somebody who might be a good member for the ECC, you want to reach out to them, that's fine. Have them return that form to Phil, and I guess he'll get it to the supervisor. Other than that, I guess, Earth Day is off and running. We've got some tree measuring in our future, and April will also, everybody will be asked to sign up for one of those monthly just blurbs, the
Yes.
outreach blurb, so give that a little bit of thought.
Mhm.
Other than that, I
It's
guess,
just a paragraph.
just a paragraph, a couple of
For a while.
sentences, just something that you're comfortable with, that you think would go over.
Absolutely. Nancy Furdock is interested.
Excellent.
Okay,
Give her those.
that's great, thank you.
Goodbye, Polly. Goodbye, Martha.
All right,
Bye.
good
Take care,
night.
Bye,
guys. Take
guys.
care.
Good night.
See you next month.
Yeah.